Hey there everyone, Science Power 7 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Mattel's Jurassic World Epic Evolution Strike Attack Kaprosuchus. So yeah, this is a nice figure. But before that, let's get into the box. It's classic of the typical Strike Attack figures Mattel released in 2024. Jurassic World logo. For genuinely whatever reason, they decided to make the Jurassic World word the main thing you see on the box. I don't know why. That was really weird. Kaprosuchus, Epic Evolution, shows you what it does. It shows you what it does. Scan good thing, and other guys you can get in this set, which are Velociraptor, Tuajangosaurus, and Guibosaurus. So this is Kaprosuchus. For those well-versed in prehistoric crocodiles, or I guess crocodilomorphs, since it's not a true crocodile, you don't need an introduction to Kaprosuchus. But basically, it lived with Spinosaurus and looks like this. It's about 13 or 20 feet long, named boar crocodile for these really big teeth. And it is just, now I am realizing I have not given a brief animal introduction on one of these videos in legit ages, but oh well. So this is not a bad depiction of Kaprosuchus. Mattel could have made it so much better, and I'll get as to why in a quick moment. But first, it's a medium-sized figure. It's not too bad. It's pretty well detailed. It's not well scaled, at least on the main body. On the legs, absolutely well scaled. And I guess on the underside too. No, actually, yeah, that's kind of what kind of scales crocodiles have on their bellies. On the head, it's also really well done, I have got to admit. Are you going to let me open your mouth? The mouth is pink, okay, very palish pink, but that's okay. In fact, that's actually kind of nice instead of the generic darker red that they typically do. So, where does this Kaprosuchus figure go wrong? I know I said I wasn't going to get into it immediately, or I'll get there eventually, but might as well go with what's wrong and then go into what's right. Well, for starters, the tail's too short. And it doesn't have the large scoots or whatever on the end of its tail. Like, this was not a true crocodile, but it was still, in a sense, a crocodile. It would have swum. It needs those little spike things. And its tail's much too short. Mattel very obviously leaned into the probably incorrect theory that Kaprosuchus was primarily terrestrial, as hence by how long its legs are. Admittedly, they are correct in giving it longer hind legs than front legs, but even still, Kaprosuchus is known from like a skull and maybe something else, I don't really know, but like a skull, and that is it. Its only other relative is Mahajangasuchus, who is also known from incredibly few remains. So, I don't know where they got the idea that it would have had long legs and been primarily terrestrial. They being the paleontologists who in turn Mattel based their design on. But I guess it's not bad. The tusks themselves are pretty good. I have to say that they're oversized for sure, kind of like the primeval Kaprosuchus, or at least they're oversized on the lower jaw. Upper jaw, I think they're kind of fine. But because of the size of the tusks, there is really... Can I open your mouth again, please? You know, I'll show you when we do the action feature. There's like no space for any of the smaller normal teeth that this animal would have had. So that's disappointing. However, okay, well I was going to give a point for it having 4 toes on its hind foot, should have 5 toes on its front foot. However, all 4 toes are clawed. One of them shouldn't be, at least on the hind foot, and it is digitigrade. That means, I think I've explained this one before, it's walking on its toes. It's a crocodile-ish. It should be walking on its entire foot. They've had this issue with actually nearly all of their smaller scale crocodilomorphs. So, yeah, it's fine, I guess. Coloration, it's gray. I want to say maybe a very light hint of purple-ish, but definitely gray, with lighter gray front legs and belly area, and then a brownish gray lower jaw and kind of also belly area-ish, kind of. And its eyes are orange, and the pupil is the same color as the main body, which sucks, but I'm not expecting much else from an eye that small, let's be real. And the nostrils are actually, I just now noticed this. I've had this figure for a while now. I just now noticed that its nostrils are, that's both of them, right? Yes, its nostrils are much too far back. They should be right here at the tip of the snout, but no, they're like way back here. That would make sense for a Spinosaur, but not a crocodile. There's the scan code. And articulation, the tail can twist in a 360 circle. The hind legs can move, I would assume, in a 360 circle. Okay, maybe not. The front legs probably get in the way. And rather similarly to the Tuojangosaurus that I made a video on, its front legs are connected to an action feature. As seen on the box, when you push down, it opens its mouth. Or if you push the legs up, it opens its mouth. And that's what I meant by there's a severe lack of literally any other teeth besides the massive tusks. But it's a pretty good action feature. I will like to say, with Epic Evolution, Mattel did, like, epically evolve the way that they showcase their dinosaur, or reptile, in this case, action feature. Like, having the hind legs or front legs be part of that action feature, I never would have come up with an idea like that. And yet they did it a couple times. And overall, it's pretty nice. I've got to say, it's pretty cool. And I don't really have a lot else to say. Aside from me anyway, you kind of need to apply a little bit of pressure for it to actually open its mouth a good amount of distance. But it's nothing terrible. Like Tuojangosaurus, I do see an issue with this being the legs could get loose over time, given the action feature. But right now, they don't seem that bad. But overall, this was Mattel's Kaprosuchus figure. But like I said, it's not a bad one. It honestly surprised it took them 6-ish years to make this. But overall, it's nice. I like it. And yeah, that was this. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.